Hebrew kingdom building.
Remember when me and Chief I guess it was Trumpets, when we was in the building, electrical building last time? 2023. Right, so who remember when me and Chief was talking about how Trump came into power? Anybody remember that conversation when we was talking about it together? All right, let me refresh it there. So there are people, right, who was behind Trump, behind Elon Musk, behind all the people that's in power right now, even the dude, the vice president, I can't think of his name right now. J.D. Vance. It's another guy too, I'm thinking. But everybody that's in power right now, this was a plan that was launched like 15 years ago called Agenda 2025. All right, and we're gonna walk this down. We're gonna talk about the political element, we're gonna talk about the natural element, we're gonna talk about the Morocco element. All right? All these things is leading to one big event. Okay? All right, so we come out to the political element. So Trump and his cronies, everybody that supported him, were a part of a religion. They were a part of a religion that's not Christianity. It's called not theocracy, but technocracy. All right, do anybody remember that talk? All right, so they're part of a religion called technocracy. That the religion of technocracy was really founded by Nazis, right? Almost all of them, mainly in Canada, and then some of them was in the United States. It kind of trickled down. But anywhere where Nazism was after the fall of the Second World War, technocracy began to bubble up and became like a through concept for those who believe that they're going to reestablish the order. So I'll give you an example. A lot of people that were involved in apartheid in Africa, in South Africa, were believers of technocracy, right? So if you go look up technocracy, if you go look at the definition, it basically means like a world that's ruled by these people that are like engineers and great minds, people that's part of think tanks, people that it's no longer ruled by the rule of law or governance from elected officials. All that stuff is done, and you have this other group come in who feel like they're like the great minds of the century, and they direct all the people into one particular space. I say a lot of words. Do y'all get me? Okay, all right. So one of the main proponents of technocracy was Elon Musk's grandfather. All right? Elon Musk's grandfather is another dude called, not Jeffrey Sachs, but Peter Thiel's family. Y'all probably never heard these names, but Peter Thiel, Elon Musk's grandfather is a dude named David Sachs. I think that's his name, right? Yeah, these are the top. Every day when you watch television, you're not going to hear these names, but these are the big names in the world outside of Blackwater and BlackRock. Like, besides those corporations, these are the biggest, most influential, most powerful people in the earth. Biggest, most influential, richest men in the earth. These people that came up with stuff like the AI we're currently using right now and all these machines, like people that help create OpenAI is one of the guys. The people who created PayPal. So listen, this is how weird this stuff is. When PayPal was first created, Elon Musk and his buddies made a statement, and they said that they're going to use PayPal to take down the United States. Now, that's a real weird statement, right? It's on record. They said they didn't agree with the government of the United States, and they felt like PayPal was the first step in them doing away with the traditional governance and coming in with their own power structure. So one of the guys that started PayPal was Peter Thiel, and the other guy was Elon Musk. These people believe in apartheid. I'm going to say it again. All these people are heavy proponents of apartheid. You know what apartheid is? Slavery. Right? So as I walk this, going to see the whole picture. Elon from South Africa. Peter Thiel from South Africa. David Sachs from South Africa. All these men are the children of former Nazis. Right? When they came to America, they started, booming and blossoming in business. But if you go listen to a lot of things they say, they hate blacks. They're against minorities in general, right? And they believe that society should be ruled by a certain technocratic ideal and people. So this is the reason why now they started all these different programs that are part of Agenda 2025. This is the reason why right now Trump is rounding up Hispanics and putting them in alligator Alcatraz, right? So part of that whole network is this place called Geo Group, and it's it's like 2-3 letter organizations, like basically like these conglomerate tech people who are also invested in private prisons. So right now, Trump is going all over America and creating concentration camps, right? The most popular one, again, right now we're talking about alligator Alcatraz. There's a couple of them in Texas. Trump bought a bunch of land out on the border of Texas and Mexico, specifically to just fill concentration camps. And so when he came in, he started signing all these executive orders. Every executive order is about the imprisonment of minorities or the deportation of minorities. Because one of the main tenets of technocracy is that you get rid of the lesser classes of people. Y'all follow me? So when you start reading about, I'm going to get cheap to read this. When you start reading about technocracy, yeah, in a second, that thing about re-immigration. You got to pull up right now, but that's, so when you go start reading about technocracy, one of the main terms they have is a term called re-immigration. Have anybody ever heard the term re-immigration? The first time I heard it, I thought somebody pronounced it wrong. It's a real thing, and it's one of the main components of technocracy. You understand? So, as we speak right now, well, not as we speak, a couple weeks ago, Trump made business trips to go to African nations to start prison camps and concentration camps in Africa. Yeah, Swaziland. He went up to Rwanda. He went to Sudan, right? And he's basically setting up places for the deport anybody that's a minority to these potential concentration camps on the continent. And the reason being is because right now they fall behind in the economy. And that's a whole nother talk. We be talking about that. But the gist of it is the American dollar is on the verge of collapse. The BRICS nations are rising up. The BRICS nations have made deals with all the countries in Africa, right? The future of everything is AI. Who knows that? The future of everything is AI. AI is a bear to keep running. AI takes a tremendous amount of rare earth materials to run with these quantum computers. Also, massive amounts of water and electricity. I'm talking about massive. So much so that the companies, and I'm just going to tie back into this, but so much so that a lot of these companies are annexing places in South America and taking over their whole water supplies, like of countries, small countries. Because it takes that much water to run these machines. It takes that much electricity. I saw a stat. It said it takes OpenAI, ChatGPT. ChatGPT uses more power to run than California, the state of California does in 6 months. So there's this whole rush for power. The United States power grid can't withstand it. Withstand these American-based AI firms, right? So they need two things. They need water and they need rare earth materials to be able to run this stuff. And America's running out of it. Why? Because Trump's tariffs. I know I'm jumping around, but you got to see. I'm trying to connect the dots for you. You ready? Okay. So remember all the tariffs, right? So Trump made all these wild tariffs on all these countries. A lot of those countries are where America got their rare earth materials from, right? And so especially China and Africa. China banned the United States from getting their rare earth materials. And the reason why I keep talking about rare earth materials is because you're going to find out that's the key to all this stuff. So because they got banned by their rare earth materials, United States is now scrambling to find somewhere they can get this stuff because they can't, not only can they not run AI, but they also can't create F-16 fighter jets. The United States is running out of fighter jets because of this deal. Because I didn't know this, but they said that for each F-16, it has like 600 pounds, 300 to 600 pounds of rare earth material in it. For each one. Right? So they're running out of fighter jets. They're running out of stuff for AI, and they follow behind in the war with China. I know I'm saying a lot, y'all. Y'all follow me? All right. They fall behind in the war with China. So what's the solution? Go to Africa and make deals with them for their rare earth materials. Because everybody else go to Africa and what? Rape them. We talked about that earlier about uranium and all that kind of stuff. So Trump is over there and making deals with these presidents for what? Rare earth materials. So if their plan is to get rid of all minorities, but they also have a plan to mine rare earth materials on the continent, who's going to fulfill that job? Slaves. How do we know that? Because also, while this whole thing going on, jobs are being lost every single day in America to AI. So as we speak right now, we'll get to black jobs in a second, but blacks are losing opportunities and jobs all over America. They don't need them to be to do customer service. They don't need them to do data entry. They don't need them to do any of these jobs. So black people are massively losing jobs in America. So they don't have any usefulness in America, especially when you're talking about with the car industry failing. Also, Trump's been cutting jobs for federal jobs. You know, a lot of black people like to work at federal jobs, and whether it be mail or, the airport or whatever, blah, blah, blah. So all them jobs are getting cut. Plus AI is taking over all those jobs. So it's less and less of a need for Negroes. Also, again, like good old Emo's talking about, they also putting them out of the military in droves. So you got to ask yourself, why is Trump hell-bent on taking all the black people out the military? You really need to sit down and think about what I'm telling you. Why is he going to try to get all the black people out of the military? People of higher positions, allegedly, from what I've been seeing. They're removing all these people from the military because they're about to stage some kind of big move. And the big move is slavery. You ain't got to believe me because 2 weeks ago, Trump was talking about it. Kid you not. He was being interviewed at Alligator Alcatraz in Florida, and a woman asked him, I wish I had to put that video in there. This is like all over the news. You can go look this stuff up. So the woman asked him and said, what are you going to do about all these migrants because we round them all up and put them in prison camps? He said, well, what we can do is we can turn them all over to the farmers. And he said, what we do? We'll call it farmer responsibility. Kid you not, Google farmer responsibility. He said, then he went on to say that he's going to establish deeds. He used the word deeds.
That's crazy.
So why is he going to give them to the farmers? I'm telling you, this thing is real convoluted. Why is he going to give them to the farmers? Because also all over America, farms are having issues. Why? Because they deported 70% of their workforce. They got rid of all the who? The Mexicanos, right? The Mexicanos. Got rid of all of them, or a majority of them. The Venezuelans. Like, for instance, Nebraska. Nebraska is about to file for bankruptcy. The state of Nebraska is about to file for bankruptcy. I'm telling you all this stuff. I'm trying to tell you how real what we're facing is. Right? And then, I forget, it says a couple other states. I don't know if it's Iowa or whatever. But then, also, you got the stuff going on in Texas. So I've been watching videos because a lot of Texas farmers are losing their whole workforce. And so because they're losing their workforce, they can't take care of the farms. So you know what they're doing? They're burning all their fields down to get insurance money. I'm talking about all over Texas. They're burning their fields down to get insurance money because they don't have the workforce. And then you got white people online talking about bring the black people here. Wow. I'm telling you, I'm watching videos and they saying this stuff. Right? Now remember, when Trump was on his campaign trail, he used a term a lot. He called it black jobs. What were the black jobs that Trump talked about? Farming. Y'all forgot? Trump will go on these tirades about black jobs. Black jobs is like a whole hashtag at one point in time because it was all over the news. Like, why he's trying to say that agriculture is black jobs? Why would a man who believes that agriculture is black jobs get rid of all the people who are currently doing those jobs? And while he gets rid of those jobs, he gets rid of what? Citizenship. Yeah, go ahead and play that. Good. So by the way, why they getting this together? Me and Chief been talking about this for since we started the ministry. This is called Rex 84. This is an old plan. This is not a new plan. If you get a chance, go Google the King Alfred plan and Rex 84.
Right. You've talked recently about the idea of finding some way to get farm workforce and service sector workforce, and I think you've discussed somehow a program of people leaving on a sponsorship and coming right back. Can you give us a little more detail about that and why, in the view of some hardliners, it's not happening?
Take care of our farmers and hotel workers and various other people who are working right now. Ron's going to be involved, and you're involved. So we have a case, a lot of cases where high school
It's the So if y'all get a chance, just Google it, because I'm on YouTube. You're going to find a video, and he clearly says that's what it is. Not only does he say it, but was it Pam Bondi? No, it was the lady. So listen, the lady who was over the Department of Agriculture. Y'all heard what I just told you? The lady that's over the Department of Agriculture repeated him, saying that this is the plan that they're looking into. About turning people that are migrants, or first he's saying migrants, then later on he said United States citizens, over to these farmers. The lady that's over the Department of Agriculture doubled down on it.
And force of deportation.
a lot of things, and they're both telling me that these people come in here, they want to go home, and they want to go home, so we immediately send them home, where it's appropriate. Now, if somebody's a real killer, we don't send them anywhere. We put them in a maximum security. Look, what we inherited from this guy, this incompetent man, and his administration, which wasn't incompetent, it was radical left, lunatic, communist, whatever you want to say. I know most of them. What we inherited should never, ever be forgotten. What they've made us do. This is all because of an open border policy where 25 million people flowed in. From all over the world, from prisons, from all over the world they flowed in. For no reason whatsoever. We had, when I left, we had a very powerful border. We had no problem. He opened it up. Day one, he just opened the border, and people couldn't believe it.
That's right.
They were standing there. What are they doing? They said, go in. That's it. You look at the first day tapes. They opened it up, and they said, go in, and that's where all of this began. But this is an amazing thing that they've done here.
Really but listen, people don't have to come here. If they self-deport and go home, they can come back legally. We will let them come back legally.
And there is a lot of self-deportation.
Yes. But if you wait and
you heard him say, hold on, pause.
You
heard him say self-deportation? All right, keep that in your mind when I give you this definition in a second. Go ahead.
You don't ever get to come back to America. You don't get the chance to come back and be an American again and work here.
They weren't with us when the President and Secretary Kevin and I, we went through the intake. So right when you do the intake, they have the information about voluntary departure. They have the ability, obviously you guys are funding that because it's a lot cheaper to do it that way. So even if they get brought to the front doorstep here, they still have an opportunity to just go back voluntarily, and then this way they're not.
Let's say they get in here like, hey, I want to stay here, I want to go back to.
We can put them on a plane that day and take them home. We'll buy their plane ticket, go home, and then they get the chance to come back legally. If they wait and
If
say
they
we're not
do
going to do
that,
that,
they can come back legally after a period.
Mr.
Yeah.
President, you've talked recently about the idea of finding some way to get farm workforce and service sector workforce, and I think you've discussed somehow a program of people leaving on a sponsorship and coming right back. Can you give us a little more detail about that and why, in the view of some hardliners, it's not
We
amnesty?
take care of our farmers and hotel workers and various other people, and we're working on it right now, and Ron's going to be involved, and you're involved already. So
Oh,
we
wait,
have
pause.
a case. Where
Remember, so what he just said, he had something to say about the farm worker. He said Ron is going to be involved. So listen, go play it. Remember in your head, he said Ron going to be involved in this. All right, go ahead.
cases where ICE will go into a farm, and these are guys working there for 10, 15 years, no problem. The farmers know them. We're going to put, it's called farmer responsibility or owner responsibility.
Owner
Where they're gonna be
responsibility.
largely responsible for these people, and they know these people. They've worked on the farms for 15 years, and all of a sudden, so I have a great, Ron does, Christy does, we have a great feeling for the farmer and for others in the same position, and we're going to give them responsibility for people. And we're going to have a system of signing them up so they don't have to go. They can be here legally. They can pay taxes and everything else. They're not getting citizenship, but they get other things. And the farmers need them to do the work. Without those people, you're not going to be able to run your farm.
Remember, he said these are black jobs. This whole campaign, he kept talking about how these are black jobs. All right, good. So pull up that definition. Re-immigration. All right, so this definition of re-immigration. Now, re-immigration is a far right. Oh, yeah, go ahead. My bad.
Check 1, 2. Reimmigration is the far right European concept of ethnic cleansing via mass deportation or promoting voluntary return of non-white immigrants.
So what did he talk about? Voluntary deportations. Maybe you just saw the video. That's what they was talking about. He said Ron gonna be over there, right? All right, keep going.
Sometimes including those born in Europe and to those places of racial ancestry.
Of what?
Europe and those places of racial ancestry.
So listen, y'all might not realize this, but when Trump went over there, he went to Angola. He go over there. He went to Swaziland. Well, he went to all these places that's in Negro land. So this past week, or past month, I should say, Trump's been going to all the places where you came from. I'm gonna say it again.
Wow.
Trump's been going to all the places where they came from. He went to the Kingdom of Yehuda or the Slave Coast and been making deals about prison camps with them. And so according to re-migration, it says it's a what?
Far right European concept of ethnic cleansing via the mass deportation or promoting voluntary return of non-white immigrants and their descendants. Some of those born in Europe and in other places, racial ancestry.
To their what? Place of what?
Ancestry.
To the place of their racial ancestry. Trump didn't go to Ethiopia. Trump didn't go to South Africa. Y'all understand? He didn't go to Syria. He didn't go to Morocco. He in Angola. You're trying to go to Benin. He's trying to go to the places where they took you from. This is the definition of remigration.
That's crazy.
All right? Keep going.
It's popular, especially within the identitarian movement. Some proponents of re-immigration suggest excluding some persons with non-European background from such a mass deportation based on varyingly defined degree of assimilation into European culture.
Mm-hmm.
Keep going.
Yeah.
Advocates of remigration promote the concept in pursuit of ethno-cultural, homogeny. According to Deutsch-Well, ethnopluralism and Nouvelle Droite concept that different ethnicities require their own segregated living spaces.
So listen, That's the reason why I'm telling you, all the people that's proponent of this were people that were lived in apartheid countries. In apartheid countries. These men are the proponents of apartheid and came from apartheid, and their parents was involved in it. All right? Go ahead, Chief.
And will create a need for re-immigration of people with foreign roots. The Mexican scholar Jose Angel Maldonado has compared the idea to a soft type of ethnic cleansing under the guise of deportation and segregation, presented by its proponents as a remedy to mass immigration and the perceived Islamization of Europe. Re-immigration has increasingly become an integral policy position of identitarians movement, other far-right political movements and parties. Research from the British Institute of Strategic Dialogue, conducted in April 2019, showed a distinct rise in the conversations about re-immigration on social media websites, Twitter, between 2012 and 2019.
Owned by who?
Owned by Elon Musk.
Owned by who?
Owned by Elon Musk. Telegram have been at the forefront of the term into the mainstream media.
All right, so I think I gave a screenshot from Axios. I thought I put it in there. I just.
Wait a minute.
I don't know. I might not put it in there. It is. That's it.
Okay.
See that right there? Y'all see that right there? That's from Axios. State Department seeks to create an Office of Remigration and Restructuring. So everything you just learned about the definition of remigration, Marco Rubio is supposed to head it up. Now, if you go, this is something, who did he say there was? It wasn't Mark, he said it. Ron DeSantis. So Ron DeSantis, Marco Rubio, Donald Trump, they all together and planning this Office of Remigration. It is currently in the works as we speak. As we speak. And this is the reason why they're doing the mass deportations. This is the reason why this is the center of all these things. And again, who was behind it? All these people that was in the apartheid. Me and Chief done lessons before. Keep telling y'all about, it ain't just the Ashkenazis. It's whites in general, but really mainly it's the Germans. You start studying this stuff, you're going to find out that the Germans are behind everything. The people that we consider normally to be white are from German ancestry. Right? Ashkenazi means German. Who did apartheid in South Africa? The Germans. Who did the genocide of Namibia? The Germans. Who went to the Holocaust? Who did the Holocaust in the Congo? The Germans. Where did they decide to split up Africa? It was called the Berlin Conference.
Yeah, right.
You understand? So these people, Peter Thiel, Jeffrey Sachs, all that kind of stuff, these are descendants of these people who have this objective and idea. This stuff was birthed into the Agenda 2025. Man. And in Agenda 2025, they plan on having all this stuff established by 2030.
Man, you can even see, though, like, with terminology, it's the same thing. When he said farmer's responsibility, then he switched and said owner's responsibility. Now I want you to see something, right? Now that meaning that he said they'll never gain citizenship. Right. You remember how he said that? He said, but there'll be the owner's responsibility. So that means that whatever the farmer owns them.
Right, that's it.
And the only way to stay here, they say they work in the farm 10, 15 years. The only way to stay here is based off what the farmers say they can do. If he own them and they have no immigration, who own their children? Who own their generation? Now look at what happened. That same thing that happened when they switched the meaning. I think it was the 13th amendment or 14th. All right, now when they called it now slavery for punishment for what? Crime. And they called it convict what? Leasing. Right? Where they would actually, if you commit a crime, you would be leased back to your slave owner. Where he owns you for however perpetual he wanted to own you until you finish your crime. This is the same thing, but now it's called immigration leasing.
Right. Yeah.
It's the same thing. It's modern day slavery. Them people would never be able to get off their farm.
No.
And now, what if they could establish codes because they immigrants? And remember all the stuff that Trump keeps speaking negatively about, well, they drug dealers, or they all this and that. Now what if they start establishing codes to keep them in order? Like they did with us, black codes.
Right.
Now, if they commit a crime, now they might be there they'll never get their citizenship. And even if they say, I want to voluntarily go home, no, you got to finish your sentence.
So, gee, he already doing it.
Man.
So, I wish you had put the video. It's a documentary on Vice. Trump's has slaves right now.
Wow.
In Dubai. Currently, Trump has slaves.
What's the documentary called?
What's it called again?
Trump in Dubai and China in Africa. It was a piece that Vice did on HBO. It's about 29 minutes, but it goes into, and this is actually from 8 years ago, so this has been in the works for a very long time.
The United Arab Emirates, and Dubai in particular, are often sold as a paradise in the Middle East, home to the world's largest and most luxurious malls, hotels and golf courses, promising unprecedented luxury for the few who can afford it.
So this is Sheikh Zayed Road, one of the most famous landmarks in Dubai. Billions and billions of dollars of real estate, and then literally in the shadows of that is this slum. So the hundreds of thousands of men who actually built Dubai, this is where they live.
The UAE's record on migrant workers' rights is well known, so we started our investigation by looking at NYU. When they were enticed into Abu Dhabi, they established their own labour standards so that subcontractors building their campus would treat their workers fairly. Those standards were tested when one group of workers went on strike. They lived 2 hours drive away from the campus site in Dubai.
So this is one of the many labour camps in Dubai, and there are just dozens of huge buildings that look like a cross between warehouses and prisons. This is the Dubai that most tourists who come never see.
Striking is strictly illegal in the UAE, but these workers eventually felt like they had no other option.
जो 572 there इतने कमती में कोई भी 8 साल 7 साल काम किया है हम लोग गाधा के तरह करते जा रहे हैं.
So can you describe how the company reacted when you went on strike?
4 आइटम का पुलिस आया, पूरा बॉडी काला कपड़ा डालकर आया, पूरा पिस्तौल ये लोग के पास है, मशीन गन है, सब कुछ है, किसी के पास डंडा है. पुलिस तो सबको पकड़ के एक ही जगह में ले गया है. जब नहीं आ रहा था कुछ इधर उधर जा रहा था डर के, वो लोग को पकड़ के मारा है. वो लोग बोला कि ऐसे यहाँ पे कानून नहीं है, स्टेक करने का स्टेक करेगा तो तुम लोग को कुछ नहीं मिलेगा करके 3-4 दिन पहले पकड़े बांग्लादेश में.
Most workers have to take out loans to get to the UAE. Being deported means going home saddled with debt and no way of paying it off. The strike was covered by the New York Times a week before a lavish commencement ceremony featuring former President Bill Clinton, who was forced to address the issue.
When this story came out, the university and the government promised to look into the charges, and if the charges were well-founded, to take appropriate remedial action promptly.
What the government actually did was call the journalist who broke the story in for questioning.
Well, I was told to meet the spokesperson for Abu Dhabi Police in a bar.
You recorded this meeting?
The article in the New York Times, it lacks so many professional standards.
After letting him know he was in trouble, they offered a way out.
Sean, I'm a straightforward man. We like to build relationships with some reporters. We are expecting something better.
As you can see here in the transcript, the police chief wanted a monthly report. Any foreign journalists who were coming to the UAE, I was to write a report on why they're in the UAE, what their agenda was.
So you'd be spying on foreign journalists as well?
Yes, yeah.
But what happened? You said to them, you're not accepting the offer?
And I said, I listened to it and everything, and then I left the country pretty soon after that, and then when I came back, I was arrested at the airport, and then I was deported.
After commissioning an independent report, NYU admitted real lapses and promised to pay compensation to 10,000 workers. The UAE is run by absolute monarchies. With no freedom of expression and no right to protest or form unions, It's routine to exploit the labourers who are building almost $400 billion worth of construction projects currently underway in Dubai alone. There are roughly 5 million migrant workers in the UAE, making up over half the population. Some of these workers let us into their homes, but to keep them safe, we had to conceal their identities.
So this is 2 buildings with a bit of corrugated iron across the middle, lots of the communal kitchen washing area. There's 7 bedrooms with between 15 and 20 workers per room.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20.
And 5 people waiting outside. So when some people leave, other people come in and take their place on the floor.
They gave us 70 dirham per day. This room we gave 3,200 dirham per month. We are not able to work with another company to make more money. Because we will work with another company, she will be got us and cancel
visa
and no entry.
In the next room, we met workers who had similar stories, but were working for a subcontractor building a golf course bearing the name of one of America's leading presidential candidates.
There is a big development called the Trump International Golf Club. Is that where you worked recently? Is this the entrance?
Yeah.
When you were at home in Pakistan, what were you told that made you want to come to Dubai?
10 रुपए घंटा मिलेगा आपको, रूम मिलेगा, गैस मिलेगा, 8 घंटे ड्यूटी और 2 घंटा ओवर टाइम मिलेगा, लेकिन हमको नहीं मिला। क्या पड़ेगा 5 रुपए?
If you could have anything, all you would want is to be promised the 10 dirhams per hour, that's $3 roughly, instead of the 5 dirhams, $1.50 that you are being paid. That's all you ask for. Did you have to pay a visa fee? So at the money you're being paid now, how long will it take you just to pay off the visa fee?
2 साल बाद से नवे लोगों ने पैसे दे 2000 रुपए।
So that's 2 years' work just to break even. And these men are charged nearly another year's salary for a visa renewal fee. Charging the workers these fees is illegal here in the UAE.
Why don't you just go home if you're not actually making money here?
जो जाएगा वो तो आएगा पैसा दो, हमारे पास होगा तो देगा ना, टिकट के पैसे नहीं क्या करेगा?
And there's another illegal but commonly used tactic for subcontractors to keep the workers in place.
How many of you, when you arrived, had your passports taken away by the company?
Total passport होने को है।
These workers now find themselves trapped and working on a development which bears both Trump's name and face, helping to sell the $1 million plus homes that will soon be complete. Trump himself came to formally launch the project.
We're building Trump International Golf Club, and it's going to be spectacular right in Dubai, and it's going to be something very, very special.
I visited the same showroom to see how it's now being sold.
Good to meet you.
Nice to meet you. How are you doing?
Good, thank you. And the golf course is another Trump International Golf Course?
Yeah, we have got Trump.
Does he just give his name to the development, or is he involved in...
No, it's not his name.
Yeah.
It's not, but he is a part of it.
Right. So Trump does the bigger villas, the golf course, the clubhouse.
Also, all the villas inside in the middle,
Yeah.
it's very big. It will be a community in which you've got everything.
In the UK, sometimes in the newspaper, you read stories about how the labourers who come from India and Pakistan, like, they get treated very badly.
No.
So it's important for us to know, like...
No, I don't.
So Damak and Trump, they treat them good?
Of course.
Yeah?
We have got a million of projects and we never had such a problem.
Never had any issues?
No.
Oh, good. We don't want to move in and then 1 year later hear a story about this,
No,
you know?
no, no, at all. You know how many Indians that are coming to Dubai? You cannot imagine. And year after year, it's more and more.
Yeah.
It means that they are happy.
Dr. Nicholas McGeehan of Human Rights Watch has been documenting migrant worker abuse for over a decade. He wasn't surprised by our findings.
Almost everyone we interviewed, they sort of described being promised one thing in their home countries and then arriving and getting a nasty shock.
What happens, yes, is workers sign a contract in wherever, Bangladesh, you know, and they arrive in the UAE, they find that they sign another contract for half what they were promised. Then their passport's taken away from them. Then the visa costs and travel costs added on. So very quickly they move from a situation where they owe double what they thought they owed, and they're paid half of what they expected to be paid. The passport's gone, and they're bound to the one employer and can't change. So very quickly it starts to look like, in many cases, a trafficking network because of the deception involved in the recruitment. And when they're there, in the worst cases, you actually have workers subjected to forced labour.
The
workers don't want much. They just want what they were promised, which isn't a whole lot. The system has been built up in such a way that everybody knows they can make money. Nothing to be gained from being ethical. Why would you be ethical when you can make so much money from being unethical and you're never going to be prosecuted for it? The Dubai that's sold to you in tourist brochures and is emblazoned across every building you can see or adverts, it doesn't reflect the actual reality, which is a lot darker.
Trump declined to be interviewed for this piece, but his organization stated, Trump has licensed its name and brand. Trump does not oversee construction and does not employ or supervise any of the companies or individuals who have been retained to work on the building of the project. Trump has a zero-tolerance policy for unlawful labor practices at any project bearing the Trump name. They instead put the responsibility on Trump's UAE partner, Damac, who told us, Damac does not directly employ any labor on its developments. We contract with third-party construction and other contracting companies. The Trump organization added that if any labor infractions were proven, they would insist that Damac investigate. So even by the unbelievably low standards of Dubai, the guys living 18 or 21 to a villa are getting treated really, really badly. But just to make sure that the company doing that to them isn't one bad apple, I'm going to follow back a bunch of other buses, ferrying workers who are still working on the Trump golf course to see how they're getting treated and see how it compares to the guys we've already met. We followed buses full of workers as they left the site. They drove for miles out of the city and into the desert. Eventually, there wasn't even a road. After a 2-hour drive, they reached their destination. Stuck in the middle of nowhere, this camp was also awful, and we heard many of the same stories.
They're working on the golf course?
Yeah,
Akoya and Trump?
Yes.
Yeah.
ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਬੇਸਿਕ ਸੈਲਰੀ ਨਾ ਕੀ ਲਿਖੀ ਹੋਈ 850
How many people share this?
This is for one piece.
Ah, so one gas hob with 2 things is for 1 room.
So this small kitchen serves roughly 150 workers.
Must be very busy in here at dinner time.
Yes.
Just outside the kitchen door was a bathroom that didn't look fit for human beings.
This is shower?
Yes, this is
This is the washing area, bathroom?
bathroom. Yes.
Oh, smell the sewage. Is it better here or Pakistan? Better at home. Can you go home?
No.
Your passport's taken?
जी complete.
Whatever his stated level of involvement, Trump makes lots of money from licensing his name and brand to projects like this. But while that might be ethically dubious for a businessman, one would think it would raise serious questions for a presidential candidate. Meanwhile, the workers in Dubai remain trapped, with no hope that things might change.
This is the circle of the life here.
Yeah.
Nobody can oppose them. Nobody can resist them. I'm away from my family. I'm missing them. They are missing me.
We have no luck. Do you think there is any chance things will improve?
So in Dubai, they got these slaves. They come over from India. When they get there, they take away their passports, and they send the police after them if they don't work. This is why the guy said it's illegal to strike. If they strike, they get arrested. They live in squalor, 25 people to a room, rats and roaches, open showers and toilets where, it's just like a hallway of toilets and, and showers where they get doo-doo and wash in the same place. They work ridiculous hours they promise them $3 an hour and they don't get that. They make $1.50 an hour and they charge them $1,700 for the passport, which means they can never pay that off. They can never get out of debt, and all they do is constantly day in and day out. And they working. They said, how many $1 billion project? When the beginning of the thing they said they're working on? $4 billion, something like that. Some ridiculous amount of money. That's how much money. You know how much money people making in Dubai? That kind of money, and they paying them $1.50 an hour. That's enough for them to eat and stay alive. This is what Trump is about to do to black people. If he continues. You would have told me he ain't. You would have told me. Right? He's not. But in the midst of this, he is going to implement a lot of things. And this is the master plan. This is the ideal of technocracy. When you look at Dubai, that's the ideal of it. You got this shining light, this technological advanced society with all these rich people, and then you have a subculture class who can't even be there. I ain't gonna lie. When I saw this, I told Malcolm it reminded me of what Revelations, because the people can't. They live 2 hours away because they don't want the people in Dubai to see them. So they work certain hours, 2 hours away in the middle of nowhere. And it's like you got this city that's shining like a light on a hill with all this wealth and, you know, almost like streets of gold kind of thing. And then you got these people who they outside the gates in the midst of darkness. They ain't got no lights, they ain't got no power, they ain't got nothing. But that's how real this thing is talking about. That's who will talk about the least. And all that kind of stuff. That's the picture of it in my mind, because we gotta break these things down into literal, actual things, real life things. So this is what's coming, right? And so what's happening is that because, and this is another reason why you know this is a real thing, right? What's going on with the earth, right? So the earth is mirroring how dangerous this time is. As you see the earth ramp up, what you're talking about is the manifestation of the sons. And so, and one of the main things is, you know, I wish I had did a better job of actually putting all this stuff together, is the actual sun. You show that picture I sent you about that, where the earth, I mean the sun and the man there. Oh, no, not that. That's the Yellowstone stuff. Scroll back the other way. So what's going on with the sun is, that's it right there. Scroll up. Right. It's pretty wild. All right, can y'all see that? So this is a guy I be following, this dude named Stephon Burns. So this is something that Yahuwah had dropped in my mind a long time ago. And I didn't realize it was a real thing until Yahuwah started putting stuff in my way. And I was like, man, is this what's really going on with the earth? And this is where we are? Let me see. Chief, I'm gonna get you to read. Psalm 19. So I'm gonna show you what Yahuwah says about the sun. So listen, there's a lot of things in the scripture that we starting to find out about that Yahuwah has always meant to be the symbols of him that the nations stole, or understanding about the world that the nations stole and then corrupted it, right? And so because of that, we don't really understand what all this stuff really means. But one thing that stood out for me in Revelation was when in the last time, Yehukanan, he saw this really odd thing, and it kept standing out in my mind. He said he saw a Malachim standing in the sun. And I was like, why is he standing in the sun? What does that mean? Why would a Malachim be standing in the sun? And what does that got to do with the end of time? So if you go read it, it's kind of obscure, but it's like this Malachim standing in the sun, and you start to see all these events, right, that take place. So I started researching it all through the scripture, and you start seeing this whole thing about the sun. The sun, all through the scriptures, is the representative of Yahuwah. It is. And then like in the ancient cultures, they understood this, so people who seem they're going to align themselves with power, or nations who claim to be powerful, will worship the sun. Right. Because they realize that the sun is the most powerful star in our solar system, and it's where all life comes out of. Even the man and the woman, the black man, is made to be functional with the sun. Yeah, you understand what I'm saying? So one of the things that really stood out to me was Bet Shemesh. So when Daud went to go get the ark, right, after the whole thing with the Philistines and Dagon and stuff like that, they put it on a cart with the two oxen and tried to bring it back because they had all the Philistines having issues with it and stuff like that. So when they had the two oxen who wasn't tied, They just put the stuff on it, and then they knew where to go. And I believe that 2 oxen represent 2 witnesses, 2 strong leaders. The oxen just knew where to take the ark. And where it brought the ark to is this place called Bet Shemesh, the house of the sun. You understand? So it took them to the house of the sun, and there was this man named Yahusha that was there who kept the ark until they can go and get it and then try to bring it back. And that's when you see the establishment of the order of Dawood, or tabernacle of Dawood. Right after that, Dawood started setting up the singers. He started setting up the declares, all that kind of stuff. They had their whole march into the nation where they was making the declaration and the sacrifices, all that stuff. And then, you know, they had to stop because of Uzzah. Y'all understand? That's when everything got set into place. Everything got set into place after the context of this thing being brought to Bet Shemesh. Y'all understand? So, anyway, who started dealing with me about was that the sun is directly connected with some kind of way with the rise of our people. Because even the scripture talks about what? It says that we pray towards what? The place of the rising sun. Right? The sun rises in the east, but it sets on the west. Even Mashiach is like certain places that prophetically, like it refers to him as being the sun, S-U-N, but he's also the sun. Y'all follow me? So the context of us and our rise is directly connected to the sun. So anyway, Chief, you read it for me?
Psalms 19?
Yes, sir.
All right, Psalms 19. A Psalm of Dawood. The Shamaim declare your kabod, O Lord. The firmament shows your handiwork. Day unto day uttereth speech, night unto night showeth knowledge. There is no speech nor language where thy voice is not heard. Their line is going out throughout all the earth, and their words to the end of the world. In them have he set a tabernacle for the sun.
In who?
In them have he set a tabernacle for the sun.
So the Bet Shemesh, the tabernacle of the sun, is in the suns. So the sun's appearing is the rising of the sun. Yeah, y'all understand what I'm saying? So the 2 things are connected, and then Chief gonna expound on that. We keep reading that. What is this like?
Verse 5.
Mm-hmm.
Which is as a bridegroom coming out of his chamber.
It's like what now?
A bridegroom coming out of his chamber.
So when you start seeing the sun manifest its power and start in its work, it's as though the bridegroom is coming. Yeah, you understand? The tabernacle of the sun. So good, Chief.
And rejoicing as strong man to run a race.
So the idea of a strong man ain't just somebody that's fast. That's like a warrior. So the sun is not representative of the bridegroom going to receive his bride. Yeah, everybody got me? So this also is low-key tied into war. So remember the ancient Hebraic ceremony when they'll go pick up a woman? They'll come with an entourage with swords. That's the bridegroom coming. As soon as you start seeing the sun doing these specific things, you know that the bridegroom is at hand.
Right.
Right? That's why you see the Malachim standing in the sun. Right? And then it starts just making these declarations about who Yahuwah is. Right? But so anyway. So that's what's going on with this thing. So this guy, you can go back to that screenshot. So this is a guy named Stephon Burns. I be following him. And I really started following this guy because I ran into this other guy who started talking about the sun and the effects of the sun on flesh. Right? Not just melanin, but flesh in general. So y'all see right here with those black holes? Those things are called coronal holes. So they image the sun, and then what happens is that, and I didn't know this until I started listening to this guy, the sun will eject wind like the earth, these solar winds, and they will go straight, some of them are beeline, straight to the earth to deposit energy. Like almost like highways, right? So those black holes is when this, so these black holes is this energy being projected. So when I started watching this guy, he started talking about a couple of months ago, there was this, I think that's when it was, this massive hole at the bottom. And then there one to the left, which is a 7. Right? So when this happened, this man said, this is like some months ago, he said, listen, he said, I've been studying this thing of the connection between the sun and the earth. So that's what I learned from this dude. The sun and the earth work together in tandem, not just about growing stuff, but when these coronal mass ejections happens, the sun releases this plasma energy that's released through solar winds. It goes directly into the core of the earth. To the core. It hits the earth, goes all the way, travels to the core, and then the earth will respond. And what he started studying that was, this is the cause of major earthquakes. So when you see them coronal holes, these mass injections, because it also does, mass ejections can get like solar flares, but it's not necessarily solar flares, it's more like solar winds. Everybody understand me? Imagine them being like currents in the sea. Y'all get me? So when this stuff is ejecting, what's going on was, he did this whole video. He said, listen, he said, there's going to be massive earthquakes. He said, there's going to be changes in weather patterns. And he said, there's going to be a massive awakening. This was like a couple of weeks, I was like months ago. And I was like, what? He was going off. He's like, man, this massive solar coronal ejection is about to change everything. He said, you're going to see there's going to be earthquakes all over the earth. Because his whole purpose, what he's explaining was, and he breaks it down in steps. Like it's a lot of stuff, but the gist of it, he's talking about how when these solar winds and they carry all this plasma radiation, the plasma radiation hit the surface of Earth, go all the way to the core, and it's almost like a radio beacon in the Earth. It's almost the Earth say, okay, and then it starts saying, it start vibrating and start shifting plates. Like a radio signal. So the Earth and the sun will constantly speak, and a lot of times these injections, so there are certain coronal mass ejections that miss the Earth, but a lot of them are dead on, almost like a gun, like it's shooting these things at the Earth. Wow. So in the midst of that time, we had a 7.13 earthquake in Alaska. We had now Yellowstone starting to go off. When we talked about Yellowstone last time on No Hebrew Left Behind, Mount Etna goes off, which, a lot of earthquakes. So a lot of earthquakes precede volcanoes because a lot of these mountains are not really mountains, they're really volcanoes. Because, you don't know why? Because in Bereshit, it told you how the flood happened. It came up through what? The ground. If you go look up that word is like springs. So there was these springs where the water flew up from the earth. And so from that time period, them things, the water came up and then behind it came magma. So, because there's going to be what? Fire next time. So not only that, the earth's floor is heating up. The earth's floor is heating up massively to the point where it's these things, they call them doomsday fish. Have y'all heard of doomsday fish? Yeah. It's the oil fish. And they believe, so the doomsday fish is this massive 20-foot long fish. And most time people don't ever see them unless it's so warm in the ocean that they move up to try to get cooler. You understand what I'm saying? When it's too warm on the ocean floor. And they say that most of the time they see the oil fish right before a massive earthquake. Wow. Or some massive disaster that happens in the earth. That's why they call it the doomsday fish. So the doomsday fishes are popping up all over the shores all over America. So going back, so the sun and the earth are directly connected in the context of this. And it even go further than this. To be honest. Go to the next. I'll tell you, just swipe over. I'm not going to get into this too much because I know people are going to be like, what? Mm-hmm. Nah, I keep going. I'll tell you when to start. This is how wild it is. Well, let's look at that right quick. Go back. Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. All right. So this is what we're talking about what's been happening since he predicted this whole thing with the coronal mass ejection and the earth responding. It says this is what happened recently. The ring of fire is active, the pressure is real, and how many quakes in a short window, that's not normal. Something's happening in Japan, knows it. This from the Japan Meteorological Agency this last month. So that's a picture of some of the roads and stuff that's happening in Japan. Japan is literally falling off into the ocean. Wow. Because they're having earthquake after earthquake after earthquake after earthquake. And what they predicting is that remember the Fukushima plant? Remember they had that meltdown and they poisoned all the water and all that kind of stuff? Y'all remember that? They had a reactor that went bad. It was because of a major earthquake. And so they predicting now that this next earthquake might be in the 8s and 9s. Wow. right? So people in Japan right now are terrified because they feel like that their country is falling apart at the seams. The same thing is going on around the Ring of Fire out in California. Not gonna be out to the coast where California is, but the Ring of Fire is also being active out that way. So anyway, keep swiping. Oh yeah, we're gonna come back to that. You keep swiping. Keep swiping. I'll tell you when I see it. There you go. All right. Let's go back to the sun. Now it's gonna get real weird now. It's about to get real weird. Believe me, you don't believe me. I don't know. I'm just telling you what the United States government been researching. All right. So it's this guy. He got the what files. He be on all kind of stuff. He is off his chain. So, but he had a video about sun plasma radiation and its effects on body tissue, and they ain't talking about melanin receptors and what happens in the black body. I'm talking about from this study, and that's why I got this the screenshot. It says declassified CIA document from 1976 is the title electromagnetic fields and its effects on human tissue. So this is the United States government. So the United States government had been studying its effects with plasma and back in the 1970s, going into the 80s, and they figured that it has something to do with reanimation. I'm saying again. So what they believe is that the sun plasma effects from these solar winds has something to do with reanimation. They've been studying ancient cultures and all their from different times like BC era, and what they believe about the sun and certain stories about reanimation of dead bodies. And what they found out is that they believe that high levels of plasma energy has the ability, check this out, to raise the dead. To raise the dead. Some wild stuff. But you got to understand that the time of Mashiach's death. What happened? So yeah, the solar eclipse. Then you had what? An earthquake. You better listen. And then after that, they saw what? They said they saw the Kodashim come out the graves. And they said they entered into the kingdom. So listen, I'm not saying this is the United States of America. CIA classified document. So is this the reason why you said there's a Malachim that's standing in the sun? Wow. Is this why there's a tabernacle for the sun in the suns? Wow. So again, that's the whole title, electromagnetic effects on human tissue. And there's another one too. It's called for real quick. It's called so listen. Because of the research they did on the electronic magnetic effects of plasma energy on human tissue, after that they came up with a new thing. They call it Complan 888. Complan 888 is a contingency plan for a zombie invasion. So listen. So they did the research on plasma energy. Then after that, they came with it's an official document from the United States. Complan 888, which is the context, they don't say zombie, but strategic measures in the case of the reanimation of masses of people at once. Wow. So, y'all say y'all believe the scriptures. The scriptures say there's going to be what? A resurrection. So, right, they think they're going to pop them when they come up out of the grave. But the scripture teaches you specifically that this event will happen. Then they start talking about the earth, what? Groaning in travail and pain until the sons are manifested. So why is the earth groaning and travailing? Because the sun is interacting with it. Yeah, listen. Listen. All I know is that they say there's some kind of weird thing that goes on with this plasma energy, solar plasma energy. They say that it has something to do with reanimation. In the scripture, they talk about there's going to be reanimation. And it talks about the sun, specifically having something to do with this. So when we look at all those old things, this is what we're talking about. But it's not just going to be this thing. You can go back to, you can swipe that. But the gist of it is, what we're seeing right now is that there is this connection with the earth and natural disasters and the sun and its interaction with the earth. So as we get closer, what we're seeing is that most of these these events are becoming more and more severe based on the timeline. Right? So like I tell you, everything they're trying to do, so there's an Agenda 2025 and there's also Agenda 2030. I didn't put this stuff in here. Everything they're trying to do it by 2030. AI, there's a prediction that AI is going to destroy the world. You know when they say by? 2030. They talking about the financial crash. You know when they say it's going to happen by? 2030. Every type of, even specific geological events, they claim that a lot of these things are going to take place before 2030. The Agenda 2030, that's what they all shooting for, to establish this thing in that time. As we move forward, it's going to be massive floods. It's going to be massive earthquakes. This is all the stuff that you showed Chief earlier. Remember you showed Chief this earlier. This stuff is going to ramp up. So this is where the Christians get mixed up. So Christians hear wars, rumors of wars, earthquakes in diverse places, right? So they'll see us having earthquakes back in 1975 and say, oh, it always happens. It ain't got nothing to do with that. It's got something to do with the birthing of the sons. Remember, the tribulation is not called tribulation. It's called birth pains. Right. It's a misinterpretation. So the birthing, all these things have to be tied into the birthing of an actual nation. Rebirth of a nation. Y'all understand? So that's why all these things are ramping up. But it's going to be that, and it's also going to be more and more supernatural things. And I wish I put all this stuff in the chat, but there are so many weird things that's happening right now. Right, so I don't know if y'all saw this, and I believe this got something to do with something to do with it too. So when Yahuwah was telling me about this whole stuff about Trump about a month ago, and then he prophesied to me, and he said something that really kind of just made me like pause. He kept saying, basically prepare, and he's like, don't be afraid of what you're about to see. So I believe that, I don't know if it's going to be here or there, there's going to be some massive event that's going to be unexplainable. When Yahuwah told me, I thought it was going to be on the continent. But then all these weird things started happening around about 4 weeks ago? When y'all see that fireball that flew over Atlanta? Okay, so one of them flew over Anderson. Like, oh yeah. I mean, right, because people was outside calling me. They was like, you see that? Like, flew right over Anderson. All right, so everybody heard this boom, and then you see it go over the top. So I didn't see it. People telling me about it. So afterwards, all right, so you got the county of Anderson, and then you got like the central part of Anderson. So we live in the central part of Anderson. Also in the county of Anderson, you got these other little towns. There's a town that's right, we live on the edge of town. So there's a town that's like outside of that. It's called Williamston. It's like 15 minutes from where I live at. So I didn't know this. When that happened, everybody saw this thing fly over, and then this man got on TikTok in Williamston, which is, you would have saw that from where we live at. He talked about it. He said it hit his house. Kid you not. It hit his house, and then he went on there and he videoed. He said he showed where it had tore through his carport. There was a hole in his carport, and there was a hole in the ground. And he's like, and he showed, he said, you know, he's all country. You see this right here? You see this? He's like, this is what I found. They say this thing is weird and it's glowing. So I'm gonna show you what this man found. Sapphire. This stuff was in the ground from that moment. He went online and I was like, what? Because he was like, yeah, you see this right here? He said it's weird. It's like, and it's glowing. It's like a field of energy off of it. And he's sitting there, he's like, I don't know how this happened. He's showing the video and he got the hole in his carport, and then you see the hole where it went into the ground. And this is what he dug up. So people's on the video like, don't get arrested. Don't let nobody see it. You know, I don't even know. I've been looking online for that dude. I ain't seen nothing else from that man since he posted it. You know? So, at the same time, y'all, this was happening because it was like within a week or so. Did y'all see? And I'm saying this stuff because I'm telling you that Yahuwah's gonna do something. I don't know if it's gonna be here, like I said, on the continent. It's gonna be some supernatural phenomenon that's gonna be unexplainable. It's gonna be something that everybody see, and it's gonna be unexplainable. So I don't know if they are unleashing things. It kind of like muddy the water. Before that time, I don't know if it's gonna be a chariot appear over a mountain, because that's another thing Yahuwah kept telling me about is mountains. Like something going on with mountains. But there's going to be something like that as we go forth and all of this weirdness. But I'm just saying this for, you know, the context of what we talking about. But there literally was a UFO. It was flying around Colombia, not South Carolina, but Colombia, South America. Did y'all see this? Who didn't see it? All right. So I gotta pull up the image. So the thing crashed and they got it. So listen, when you see the video of it, you know that no matter what this thing is, and this is going back to the time we talking about how weird this place is now, what we dealing with. It's impossible for something like this to fly. It's an orb. It's a round orb. And then people outside, multiple people videoing this thing fly through the air horizontally. Ain't no jets on it. Ain't no wings on it. And I'm talking about there's multiple reports from different people who all saw it. And it's flying in slow motion through the air all throughout Colombia. And then it finally crashed, and it's got these ancient writings on it. They don't know what it is. I'm gonna I'll find it right there. I'm gonna send it to Chi. But I'm telling you, this is how the stuff with the sun, what's going on with us, and all these things are gonna come together. All right, that's it right there. So listen, but I'm telling you this. That's it.
Being had, and people are taking UFOs
That's it flying.
more seriously. And today we have possibly the biggest event in UFO history, with a UFO metallic sphere literally crash landing in Buga, Colombia. This did not only crash land, but we got to it before the government did, so civilians have already been touching it, recording it, taking pictures, running their own tests before someone informed certain people, and then Jamie Mosan got his hands on it, and now they're doing some official testing. But before the officials got their hands on it, we regular people were already messing with this thing. It is incredible and may just be the biggest piece of UFO evidence we've ever had. Now, to start, this thing was caught flying around Colombia, and multiple people recorded it. I don't know if it sensed that it was being recorded by multiple people, but I guess it tried to dip out, and it got caught in some power lines and went down. Now I'm going to share that clip with you, but I'm also going to show you the people holding it in their hands, the testing that they're doing, and even the X-ray analysis. So let's start with the UFO crash. Let me know in the comments what you think about this.
So y'all, that's it flying. So y'all, you know, there ain't no technology that can make anything fly like that we got. Anybody else? Cruising, man. So they claim that when they caught this thing, they said every day it changes its weight. It weighs something different every time they weigh it. After it crashed. So yeah, and it's got some kind of ancient language that's written on it. Some kind of Sanskrit type language on it that they're trying to decipher. Then they say that they try to use AI to decipher it, and it says something about the last days or something like that.
Eso se ve como algo extraño. O sea, no es súper rápido. Es una pelota, no es ni un... Alcanza a ver.
Yeah, you pause that. So yeah, you know, that's different people saying different things. Like I say, it could be a couple things. It could be something they doing to create a narrative, and it is a hoax, or there's some kind of realness behind it. There's some kind of weird thing coming. But I know that Yahuwah is. The closer we get to this time, things are gonna get very, very strange. Very, very strange, and very, very dangerous. Everybody follow me? So again, I'm not saying that, hey, listen, this is it. What I'm trying to tell you is that Yahuwah's warning that it's gonna be some kind of it's gonna be something that happens that it's gonna be that Yahuwah does that's gonna be as strange as this. Right? And when he does it, there's gonna be some people that's gonna lose Imunah, because they're not grounded in Yahuwah, because they gotta understand that Yahuwah can't be put in a box. Y'all understand what I'm saying? So anyway, so that's some of the stuff that we talking about, and I'm trying to show y'all the whole what me and Chief been talking about in the context of this stuff coming full circle. And all right, so this last couple of things I'm gonna talk about. So you click on that thing which says red Sprite. Click on that right there. So me and Malcolm been talking about this right here. This is also some of the strange anomalies that's going on. It didn't pop up. That's it right there. No, right under that. Yeah, go back. Go back up. Like scroll out of the way, my bad.
Another one?
Yeah. Right, that's it right there. Right, straight. So you see right here? A red Sprite gives astronauts an incredible light show. So what's been popping up also is these things they call red Sprites, which are these Ruach things that are above the earth that's coming down to the land. Looking things. And me and Malcolm been talking about that. You scroll up, G, if you don't mind. Is it trying to block it? All right, hold on. I'll send you a screenshot. Yeah, I'm trying to see if I can find a close-up image of it. Yeah, I don't buy nothing now. All right, I'm gonna send you Chief this photo so you can kind of see what it looks like. All right, I'm gonna send you this screenshot. All right, here you go. So y'all can get a through shot at it. See these right here? So the red sprites are also appearing. They can see these things from the space station. They go from all the way to the Shaman to the arrest. Wow. And I'm trying to see if I can find the issue better. Okay, here we go. This is the picture from the space station. And the wild thing is these things happen fast, almost like a lightning strike. And that one particularly hit the border of United States and Mexico. Let me see. You get the last one? This is the one that's from space. You see that? Y'all see that right there? That's how far up this thing is. So these things been appearing all over the earth, like as though something is coming down, descending from the Shaman to the arrest. And so, say again, Mark.
So they actually appear above thunderclouds. So whenever there's a storm, it has to be a specific atmospheric change for you to be able to see them. And they appear above the thunderclouds. And they're ruachs. They don't call them ruachs, but they call them transient luminous, I can't remember what the other thing is, but sometimes they also appear blue. And they also call them elves. Elves, yeah. Yep. They're a part of a group. So red sprites are large, colorful electric discharges that flicker in the night sky above thunderstorms. They are part of a group called transient luminous events, which also includes blue jets and elves. And then they give you like a review of what they are. Those things is ruachs.
Yeah. So I don't want to just keep talking about all these things that's going on, but I wanted to try to point to what we really about to deal with. And the reason why I'm telling you about the stuff that's going on with the sun, what's going on with the earth and all this kind of stuff, that's going on with politics, all these things are the birth pains of some major event that's going to take place, right? Concerning us and concerning us moving to the next phase. Everybody understand? Yeah. So and as of right now, we on the countdown. We on the countdown. And say again? Yeah, you can. I mean, it's in the air. It's permeable. And and the thing is, I don't know what's going to hit. So going back to what we was talking about last time about fire next time, in the context of all these volcanoes that's about to erupt, and Yellowstone, and what's going on with it. It's almost this thing where I don't even know what's going to happen first. I don't know if it's going to be this massive eruption from melt. So, by the way, y'all, if I said this last time, if y'all get a chance, look up the kill zone for Yellowstone. If Yellowstone erupts, which it is currently doing, it's currently alive right now, right? That's why all the animals are leaving. When it erupts, it's going to take out 75% of America. 75% of America, everybody from the west pretty much done. Most of them in the kill zone. They're going to have to migrate to whether north or south, right? The area that we in is the only area that you see that's really not affected, right? which means that or else they're gonna probably have to do massive evacuations and bring everybody that's from the West to here, and that can change everything. Like, so in the midst of that, that could be also, they might can declare martial law or whatever else they got to do because of the chaos that might ensue then, which would keep him in office. Exactly. So all this stuff, y'all, it has to. It's on the way. You want to speak on that?
Like you start looking at prophecy, it's some major stuff that has to happen, and then your foreshadow is usually the animals. Right. When it comes to Yahuwah judgment and how he judges, he judged through war. He judged through the elements, right? Natural disaster. He judged through beast, right? All of these things that he judges through. And when you read these scriptures, it talks about the end. Let's go real quick to Isaiah 24. Then I think Zephaniah chapter 1, right? It's another one too. Isaiah 24. You start at 1. Yeah, let me see if I can go there myself, yeah. Yeah.
Behold, Yahuwah maketh the earth empty.
Uh-huh.
It maketh it waste. It turneth it upside down, and it scattereth the inhabitants thereof.
So that has to be a major judgment that's going to happen outside of the flood that have already happened. That's going to make men few in number, inhabitants on the earth few in number. Like all of these things going to happen, right? Let's keep reading. So you are gonna make things waste. You're gonna turn it upside down. Keep going.
It shall be as the people, so with the priest.
Uh-huh.
As with the servant, so is his master.
All right. So your position ain't gonna get you away from this. Everybody gonna get the judgment, right? It ain't gonna be based on class and none of that type of stuff. When Yahuwah judge, he judge everybody. That ain't right. All right, keep going.
As with the maid, so is her mistress.
Uh-huh.
As with the buyer, so is the seller.
Uh-huh.
As with the lender, so is the borrower. As the treasurer, taker of usury, so is the giver of usury to him.
Uh-huh.
The land should be utterly empty and utterly spoiled, for Yahuwah has spoken his word.
Mm-hmm.
The earth mourneth and fadeth away. The world languisheth and fadeth away. The haughty people of the earth do languish. The earth is also defiled under the inhabitants thereof, because they transgressed the laws.
Why they did it?
Transgress the laws.
Why is this happening?
Transgress the laws.
Uh-huh.
Change the ordinance.
Change the ordinances.
And broken the everlasting covenant.
Uh-huh.
Therefore hath the curse devoured the earth, and they that dwell therein are desolate. Therefore the inhabitants of the earth are burned.
They're what?
Man, they are burned.
They're what?
Burned.
So how they're going to be burned? It's going to be through fire. But how's that going to naturally happen that's already set up? It has to be some type of volcano eruption.
Right.
And you start looking at how all the scriptures that tie in, like the mountains melting and erupting and all of that type of stuff. That's Yahuwah using it. All right, keep going.
And few men left. The new wine mourneth, the vine languisheth, and all merry-hearted do sigh.
Uh-huh.
The mirth of drums ceases.
Uh-huh.
The noise of them that rejoice in it, and the joy of the harp ceases.
How has Babylon fallen so quickly? Back to Revelations, keep going. Like all this stuff, people playing around, having a good time now. Okay, keep going.
They shall not drink wine with a song. Strong drink shall be bitter to them that drink it.
So they ain't gonna be in the clubs getting drunk and wilding out no more. It's gonna get real.
The city of confusion is broken down. Every house is shut up, that no man may come in. Shut up, that no man may come in. There's a crying for wine in the streets. All joy is darkened, and the mirth of the land is gone. In the city is left desolation, and the gate is smitten with destruction. When thus it shall be in the midst of the land among the people, there shall be a shaking of an olive tree, and as the gleaning of grapes when the vintage is done. They shall lift up their voice. They shall sing for the majesty of Yahuwah. They shall cry aloud from the sea. Man. Because that's that word is Gaon. I go back to excellency. They'll cry for the excellency of Yahuwah. They shall cry aloud from the sea. Wherefore,
but you got it now. When this stuff start happening, they're going to be trying to look into what you was looking into. Where's the excellency? Crying out for the excellency. How did I leave the excellency? Wonder what they doing now. I wonder what they plan is now. You know, all of this stuff is, I'm telling you, it's going to happen. Keep going.
Wherefore glorify Yahuwah in the fires. They got a whole different meaning now. Yeah, that's wild. Yahuwah, man, he don't play no games.
He don't play no games.
Wherefore glorify Yahuwah in the fires, even the name of Yahuwah of Yasharal in the eyes of the sea. For the uttermost parts of the earth we've heard songs, even kabod to the righteous. But I said, my leanness, woe unto me. The treacherous dealers have dealt treacherously. Yea, the treacherous dealer have dealt very treacherously. Fear the pit and the snare are upon thee, O inhabitants of the arrest. It shall come to pass that he that fleeth from the noise of fear shall fall into the pit.
Shall what?
He that fall from the noise of fear shall fall into the pit.
They're going to be chasing something they see in the sky and going to fall in the pit. Being afraid. Keep going.
And he that come up out the midst of the pit should be taken in a snare. For the windows of on high are open, and the foundations of the earth do shake.
That's it. Keep going.
You better take heed of the stuff that's going on, man.
I'm telling you. Keep going. Reverse.
The earth is utterly broken down. The earth is clean dissolved. The earth is moved exceedingly. Listen, right now,
there you go.
That's all that's happening.
That's all
earthquake after earthquake after earthquake after earthquake. I'm telling you, the earth is moving exceedingly. Earthquakes all over the earth. Earthquakes in Japan. Earthquakes off the coast of the west coast of America. Earthquakes up in Alaska. There was almost an 8. It was like 7.3. They was calling for a tsunami.
Man.
The earth is shaking as we speak.
Man. Verse 20 gonna show it.
Man.
Watch this.
The earth shall reel to and fro like a drunkard.
Reel to and fro like a drunkard.
And shall be removed like a cottage.
Yeah.
And the transgression thereof shall be heavy upon it. Man. And it shall fall and not rise again.
Not rise again. What we knew before would never be again when Yahuwah get done. Keep going.
And it shall come to pass.
The earth just moving. This might seem like it's drunken because of all the wickedness that's going on. In a little cottage or look, what you think you done got set up, man, Yahuwah gonna knock all that down. Earth just gonna be moving. All the Donald Trump, all the little stuff they build, and all it takes is an earthquake. Whoop, whoop, whoop.
That's it.
All of it's gone. It's gone. Keep going.
And they shall be gathered together as prisoners, or gathered into a pit.
Man.
They shall be shut up in the prison.
Man.
And after many days they shall be visited.
Man. Then the
moon should be confounded, and the sun ashamed. So listen, why would the moon be confounded and the sun ashamed? Say again? What about the sky? Volcanic ash. So they talk about, volcanoes almost do the same thing as nuclear winter. When they erupt, when massive volcanoes erupt, they cover the sky with ash. And then you start, sunlight will be dimmed. And then you will have, sometimes they'll have like a red tinge to it. So this is why we talk about the moon turn into blood. All them different prophecies start coming into play from a massive eruption. The moon should be confounded in the earth of shame when Yahuwah Zabaoth shall reign in Mount Zion, in Jerusalem, before his ancients, gloriously.
Go real quick to Hosea, then we'll go to Zephaniah, then I'll be done.
Okay. Hosea what?
1.
Okay.
No, 4. Verse 1.
Okay. Hear the word of Yahuwah, you children of Yasharal. For Yahuwah have a controversy with the inhabitants of the land.
Man, he has a controversy. Why is the controversy? Listen.
Because there's no truth.
There's no what?
No truth.
There's no what?
No truth.
And no what?
No mercy.
No what?
No mercy.
And what else?
No knowledge of Yahuwah in the land.
Why is there no knowledge? Because there's rejection of it.
Right.
It ain't that it wasn't available. You just reject it. So he got a controversy.
Right.
In the land with anybody that he has established himself with. That's first talking about us too.
Right.
He got a controversy with us. With the land. But let's talk about the land. Keep going.
By swearing.
By swearing.
By lying.
By lying.
By killing.
By killing.
By stealing.
By stealing.
Committing adultery.
Now that's talking about the world. We ain't doing that stuff.
Yeah.
We ain't kill nobody. By swearing, by lying, by killing, by what?
Committing adultery.
Uh-huh.
They break out and blood touches blood.
Blood touches blood. Killing upon killings are going to kill them. Now, what is going on with the land because of that?
Therefore, the land gonna mourn.
The land gonna mourn.
And everyone that
now, let me ask you, how does the earth mourn? Huh? Shaking. All right. What can an earthquake relates to as mourning? Huh? Birth pains. What else? What happens when something is getting broken? It's almost like a screaming, a snatching the way you hear. The earth is being ripped apart, right? You hear the shouting. What's other ways? What is with the land mourning? Come on, natural disasters, easy stuff, huh? Hurricanes. How's hurricanes happening? What else? Tsunamis. Excessive heat.
Right.
Now all of this stuff, the earth is mourning. Going in because all this was going on upon her, because the earth was in covenant with Yahuwah.
Right.
And was there even when Israel made his covenant.
Right.
Right? That's why the earth, the heavens and the earth was a part of the covenant with Israel, because they was there to witness it. That's why I said I'll call forth what? Heavens and what? Earth to witness this day. Right? Keep going.
The land shall mourn, and everyone that dwell therein shall languish.
Now watch what the beast gonna do.
With the beasts of the field,
Uh-huh.
and the fowls of Shamayim,
Uh-huh.
yea, the fish of the sea also shall be taken away.
Now you look at taken away, that means that it says that they're going to Asaph. That means they're going to gather. You're going to start seeing them moving.
Right.
In certain places and migrating to certain places. And in some instances, you're going to see them die. Are we not, when you start looking at what the animals are doing right now, even with Yellowstone, Chief brought this out, the other day.
Yeah.
They're leaving. That lets you know if Yahuwah put in the animals to go to Noah's ark. Now you think Noah just out there hollering, "Come on, animals.
Right.
Y'all please come. There's a storm coming." No, Yahuwah had to put in their code, find Noah.
Right.
They had to recognize who Noah was.
Right.
I want you to see how spiritual this is. Animals had to go and recognize that this is the Savior. Right. It had to be written in them.
Right.
In his generation, for them to recognize at a certain time, awaken, go find your salvation.
Right.
He ain't had no animals trained.
He ain't go hunt them either.
But Yahuwah, I want you to understand.
He ain't go hunting.
I want you to understand, Yahuwah hides things in us for certain generations.
Right.
For when the time comes, it's already in your code what to do.
Right.
So that specific group of animals, however they might have been begetted or duplicated throughout the years, it was a certain amount of them during his time had the code in them. Right. To go find Noah, to go gather towards what? Salvation. Right. If he did that with an animal, what you think in your code? What you think in this generation? What you think written in you? Yeah. You see what I'm saying? But you better watch them animals when they start traveling and going places and moving in certain ways. They're trying to signal something is happening. Right? Keep going.
The beasts of the field and the fowls of the Shamayim, yea, the fishes of the sea shall be taken away. Yet let no man strive, nor reprove another. For thy people as they that strive with the priests.
So we ain't supposed to be, hey, listen. It is what it is. We ain't striving.
No.
We ain't trying to reprove. Because they going to strive with the priests. The more you try to warn them, the more they go fight you. You would just say, hey, let the calamity show everything. Real quick, Zephaniah, that's it. Then they go down to my people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge because they reject knowledge.
Zephaniah, what?
Zephaniah 1.
And the word of Yahuwah came to Zephaniah the son of Cushi. the son of Gedaliah, and son of Amariah, and the son of Hezekiah, in the days of Josiah, the son of Ammon, the king of Yehuda. I will utterly consume all things from off the land, saith Yahuwah. I'll consume man and beast. I'll consume the fowls of the Shamayim and the fishes of the sea, as the stumbling blocks with the wicked, and I will cut off from man from off the land, saith Yahuwah. I will also stretch out my hand upon Yehuda, and upon all the inhabitants of Jerusalem I will cut off the remnant from Baal from this place, and the name of Shemarims from the priests, and them that worship the host of the Shamayim upon the housetops, and them that worship and that swear by Yahuwah, and that swear by Milcom. That's
all right. So just
Molech.
to add right there, because like you said, Yahuwah, these things have happened and these things are going to happen. Yahuwah speak one time, but he said it twice, right? If Yahuwah would do an ethnic cleansing too now.
He's known for it.
He's known for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, come in and cleanse it up. But if these type of things, you know, it got to be certain calamities, man, that's going to take place. And this is why Yahuwah, in all of that, when he said all that is going to happen, the main thing he told us to do in Zephaniah 3, he said, gather together.
Right.
O nation not desire. It's that he may hide you from the calamity that's coming. All right, so we're going to go and get ready to close out.
Rebirth of a nation. Hebrew kingdom building.